Yo, what's really good? It's your main man Apostle Raw here for that third video. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Today we are talking about consistency. What is consistency, right? Consistency for me is the ability to continue moving through the process. And that's something that a lot of us do not have naturally. That's something that, especially in these times, people like to say generations, but I've noticed that no matter what age somebody is, in these times where the attention span is so low, all types of people are dealing with this issue of maintaining a level of consistency, right? Especially for extracurricular activities like this, creating a YouTube video, or getting in shape, right? These things don't have instant gratification attached to them, so they don't always take the priority in your life. But consistency is something that is developed through discipline, right? Discipline is going to be your number one friend when it comes to maintaining consistency. Now, how do we develop a level of discipline to get these things done? Well, that has to do with priorities, right? We tend to be more disciplined with what we have to do than what we want to do, right? Most of us work a 9 to 5. Most of us have a job. You're going to maintain a level of consistency with that job because you have rent to pay, you have bills to pay, you have car note, you have all types of different things that you have to do. And then there's the extra things like, I want nice clothes. I want to be able to go out and do this and that. I want to be able to eat this and go here. So you're going to show up to work because the priority of work is unarguable. It is, you have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a choice. It's mandatory that you go to work, right? And so it's not hard to really get yourself disciplined. Now, you may go to work and just move through it on some days, but you're going to get there. And so that's one of the things that will help you with consistency. Do you see your passions, your goals as priorities in your life? That's what you have to ask yourself. Simon Sinek says, your why. What is your why? That will determine whether or not you make it through the storms to get to where you're trying to go to, right? The path is always going to have obstacles on it. It doesn't matter what it is. That's just life. But your why will determine whether or not you're willing to go through those obstacles to be able to get to where you want to, right? There's always going to be fast food. There's always going to be, bags of chips and all that type of stuff at the at the gas station, the market, and all that type of stuff. And if you're saying you want to get healthy, these are going to be obstacles in your life. Bad eating habits be the number one obstacles of your life. And you're going to have to deal with that. But let's say, God forbid, you were going through some type of health crisis where they were telling you, if you don't stop this, then this is going to happen to you, right? I don't want to get too dark, but if you don't stop this, then you'll end up like this. And you don't want to be like that? That's going to prioritize your health, right? But we don't want to wait till something gets like that before we start to look at things with the level of discipline that we need to remain consistent in life. So let's begin to look at our situation and figure out why we want to do something in order to move forward. This whole thing with YouTube, this is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I finally just got tired of it. I said, you know what? I'm going to get it done. I don't care if my video's not perfect. I don't care if my audio's not perfect. I don't care if my thumbnails ain't perfect and my keywords and all these things aren't perfect yet. I'm going to start and I'm going to learn on the way. And every single time I'm going to try to get better. I'm going to figure things out as I go. But I'm not going to wait until I have it mastered before I start, right? So let's just start with the whole health thing. You could try to become a vegan in one day and you may fail. I mean, the probability of you being able to maintain that for the rest of your life might be a little bit low. But if you step by step begin to remove things and not look back at it, knowing, okay, I got rid of that and I know I'm doing this for the better, and be proud of yourself every step of the way, but you're moving, then you're going to have a higher chance of success in that. So let's look at our why and let's use that as fuel to stay disciplined enough to remain a level of consistency to see the change that we want to see. Come on, somebody. That's what I'm talking about. So discipline, why, consistency, all these things are going to work together. Now, another great way for you to remain consistent is carving out the right time to do these things. Overlooking the time periods in which you have to work on something is ultimately going to be the downfall, right? So let's begin to organize our time. Let's look at the patterns in which we live and let's carve out some time. Begin to put things on calendar, whether it's mental or you're using your phone or paper or whatever it is that you're using, but begin to organize your calendar. You know what I mean? Let's get that in order so that we know, okay, this time on this day and this day and this day is carved out for this, and I'm going to get it done on these days. You know what I'm saying? You begin to organize your time and your structure, you'll have a way higher chance of actually getting things done and staying consistent with it. So your why and making sure that you're carving out time and scheduling, you know what I mean, your activities. That's a big thing. Now you may be saying, hey Raw, man, what about the unforeseen things, the things that we're not planning for, things that life just throws at us? Of course, that's going to happen no matter what. But let's go back to our job for a minute. Let's go back to our work, right? You don't have a choice but to go. So when these unforeseen things come up, you don't just call off work every single time things happen. You gauge the level of importance versus the number one priority, which is getting my rent paid, getting my bills paid, going to work and getting things done. You gauge it according to that, and it just has to fall where it falls. It's the same thing with your passions. If you're passionate about becoming whatever it is that you're passionate about becoming, you're going to have to treat it as important and prioritize it as much as work. Eric Thomas says, when you want it as bad as breathing, you're going to get it. And that's just showing a whole nother level of priority, right? That's a whole nother level of priority because you're never going to compromise breathing for anything. Everything stops if breathing is compromised, right? And so look, when we're looking at the prioritization of your goals, of your passion, of what you know, your destiny, your calling, right? That has to be important to you more than anything else. And other things must fall by the wayside. I mean, unless it's absolutely mandatory that you take care of it, do not, I repeat, do not let go of your passion or your goal and just run off. Oh, the homies is trying to kick it tonight. You know what? Let me just go see what's up. The homies is going to be trying to kick it tons of nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't going to not go to work because the homies is trying to kick it, right? So get to your goal. Get to the gym. Right? Get to making that video that you're supposed to, right? Get to creating that product that you say you want to drop out to the world. Get to writing that script, that movie, that whatever you're doing, man, whatever you're doing, get that done. Because at the end of the day, with that being accomplished and being consistent at it to the point where you've given yourself, you know what I'm saying, the opportunity to be successful at it, then there's fulfillment in that. You know what I mean? There's growth in that. And hopefully there's fruition. You really get to eat the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing with this YouTube thing, man. I've tried it before and I fell off and I stopped. And I didn't see the power in it. And I was just doing it just to do it. And now it's just not the same for me, man. It's like, get it going. This is really what I'm passionate about, is sharing information with people, encouraging folks. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in the last video, I'm here to edify and entertain while giving game in Jesus' name. And that's what it really is for me. You feel me? So let's really dig deep inside of ourselves and get to the place where we can begin to see our dreams as important. right? Our dreams is important. I talked about this before in Ecclesiastes. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that isn't vanity and grasping the wind is the good labor that God provided for you on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to begin to see it like that. Everything else is just a game. You know what I mean? Your health is important. The things that make you stronger are important. They're more important than anything else. Instant gratification is a killer of long-term goals. We have to sacrifice instant gratification to get to where we really want to be. You know what I mean? Let's move forward. The long-term things last longer. They said slow money is better than fast money. Fast money goes. Slow money stays. And so the things that it takes you longer to develop are the things that are carving out a niche for you, making a place for you. These are the things that don't just come free, right? Let's say you're a musician and you're practicing your instrument 2 hours a day. After 2 years, the work that you've put in is going to separate you from individuals who didn't put that type of work in, individuals who've never done it. You have now made a place for yourself that others are going to have to work hard to even match. And that's just what it is. And that's with anything. The same thing with fitness. You work out 3-4 days a week and you give it everything you got. 2 years down the line, not only is your body going to look different and perform different, you're going to be stronger. And someone that's just hopping into the gym is not going to be able to do what you've done, right? You've separated yourself. There's a certain value in what that time that you took in order to do that. And that's with everything. You know what I'm saying? The more time we spend working on what it is that we want to do, putting in that work in the field, whatever field it is that you find important, that you know has purpose for you, that's going to set you apart, right? Add that to your why. You know what? The more time I put into this, the better I'm going to get at it. You know what I mean? And then you may even get to a place where somebody else coming along is like begins to admire what it is that you've accomplished, and you can share that gift. You can share that gift with them. Look, man, this is what it took for me. This is the type of work that I was putting in. And guess what? If I would have known this when I started and that when I started, you find that all over YouTube. People saying, oh, if I can go back and I can do that. And they're helping the next people along, you know, with what information they have through experience, right? So it puts you in a place to even teach, you know what I'm saying, and grow. And that's the same thing we're doing with these life experiences when we go to motivate and educate, you know what I'm saying, help other people along the way. That's what it's all about. It's better to give than it is to receive, right? You gotta have something to give, right? So we spend our time going through everything that we've gone through, all of our experiences, all of our training, you know what I'm saying, all the wisdom we've acquired, all the understanding to pass it on to those who are coming along that path in a more beginner stage than where it is that we are at, right? So that's just another beautiful thing that I find value in this whole journey of becoming what we're trying to become or accomplish what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So I want you to keep all that in mind. Your why is going to change everything for you. Why am I doing this? The stronger your why is, this is how I identify with myself, my true self. This is where I find value. This increases the value of life. This increases the longevity of life. This brings me alive. This puts light in my eyes. Figure out why you're doing what you're doing. And if that's strong and it's not superficial, then it's going to last. Not only is it going to last, but it'll be the battery in your back that gives you the energy to get to where you're trying to go. Carve out a set time, organize your time, and schedule things out so that you give the right amount of time that you need to what it is that you're trying to accomplish. That is mandatory. You have to set up these times. And when the world begins to throw and hurl things at you and life is going, a million miles a minute, you have to remember to get it how you live. You do not then begin to devalue what it is that you've set yourself to do, the plans that you've set for yourself. No, you prioritize and you treat your gift, you treat your passion, you treat your goals with the utmost respect by saying, no, I will continue in the path that I've set for myself. You know what I mean? Another beautiful thing about that, right? With the whole scheduling and the world throwing stuff at you, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things are going to come up that are going to put things to a halt, right? But in certain fields, if you're putting in more work on the days when you can, it'll help with that. Like if I sit here and I do 3 videos, right, today, and I have 3 topics, I do 3 videos, and then I go do another video tomorrow, and another one tomorrow, and then for 3 more days I can't, well then I caught myself up because when I could, I went hard. So keep that in mind too. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a musician, I'm gonna try to do an hour of piano or guitar or whatever a day, knowing that you have 2 or 3 extra hours that day, get it in. Go hard that day. For the days in the future that you may miss, put in that work. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the main things that I'm noticing nowadays is people want to find the shortcut, the fast way and all that. It just doesn't work like that. Because the more work, the more time that you put into your craft, you know what I'm saying? That's what's going to define you. That's where you're going to learn the ins and outs. That's where you're going to be transformed into something else because you have prioritized the time that you're taking with your craft, your path, your desires, your goals, your dreams, right? And so that's all I have for you guys today. And I hope whoever's watching that this does help you get to that next level. I truly appreciate you tuning in. Again, my name is Apostle Raw. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. We are here to grow together. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.